Hello, D-Rock here. Welcome to the channel. I hope you all are well. Today I'm doing a little loving on my Honda CRF300L. Got some things to do here. Actually, I've been doing some things. If you are considering buying one of these bikes, or you currently have one and haven't done any upgrades or anything, it's still all stock. There's a couple things you should be aware of that I learned about this bike. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It helps us out tremendously. Let's get going. Okay, it took me a minute to get to doing these things just because I was preoccupied with a couple of my other bikes, but we've made it there. So the first thing that I want to talk about are the brake and clutch levers. So these are the stock levers here. And what you're looking at here is, this is a brake lever, front brake lever for the Honda CRF300L. This is a $6 tusk lever here. It's kind of like a backup, but this was the stock lever, came with the bike, and you can see there's a bit of difference. So what happened was, this happened recently actually. I dropped the bike, I ride in rocky terrain, and even though I had handguards on, it bent the lever all the way up, and it bent it all the way into the handguard. So essentially my front brake was locked. And luckily I had tools with me so I could undo the handguard here, loosen it up, and pretty much drop the handguard to where I could actually ride the bike and get out of the mountains. So that's what it looks like. So be aware, the levers on this bike are made with cheap metal, and by that I mean any type of fall or hit or anything, you're going to bend these very easily. So what I did was I ordered a set of Zeta pivot levers. I got this from CRFs only. I think it was $100, I believe, but let's just have a look here. This will alleviate some of the problems. So here's a look. This is the clutch lever, and there is the Zeta lever. And you can see both the clutch and the brake levers are shorter. I'd say they're 3 fingers. So I've got ample space, at least on this side. On the other side I don't, because the handguard's all bent up from that drop. But the theory behind these is that they pivot. So if you're to wreck, there's a joint here, and the lever will pivot out. But these are really simple to install. Do the clutch, and then I went ahead, did the brake as well. This fixed the problems. They seem to be pretty durable, and like I said, I'm not dealing with messing with the hand guard anymore. I'm not very happy with the hand guards. These are the X Factor hand guards by Precipice. They're okay, but they take any type of beating, they're going to bend and twist. So I'm on the lookout for new hand guards for the CRF. So I haven't decided on what to do yet, but that's coming. So I encourage you to change out, if you still have your stock levers, your brake and clutch, to change those out to something probably along the lines of this. It's gonna be better in the long run. Just a heads up. Next was an easy switch out, and this makes a huge difference, and I just can't believe it took me this long to do this, but I went ahead and switched out the foot pegs. So this makes a big difference in your riding while you're off-road doing your standing. So have a look at what these look like next to the stock foot pegs. As you can see, the stock foot pegs in my hand there, and then the Zeta aluminum foot pegs right here to the right, and there is a noticeable difference in width there. And you can look at that, you can see that versus that. You're going to definitely have more grip on this foot peg. It makes a tremendous difference. in riding when you switch out foot pegs like this. You've got a larger platform to stand on, and it just makes the whole experience that much better. Next thing to talk about are your shift levers and rear brake levers. These that come stock with the bike. The metal's just absolutely terrible, and I already bent both of them in. Here I replaced the shift lever with, this is just a test shift lever. This is like 25 bucks, and I've actually had to bend this back out, but it definitely fared better than the stock shift lever. All right, and what you're looking at in my hand there, that is the stock rear brake lever. Yeah, check that out. Bent. Absolutely ridiculous. That's from a drop in the rocks. So I just replaced the brake lever. This is also, I believe, OEM here. I got this from CRFs only. I had to replace it. This was just trashed, man. So you can see how bad that bent out, and I had to bend this back to make it rideable to get back out, because it was just worthless on the bike when I dropped it. But that's something to also be aware of, your levers. I gotta switch this out once I get a better product, because if I drop it again, the same thing's just gonna happen. You know, the CRF300L is a budget bike, and some of the components they put on this are just, you know, will get you through. But they are definitely, you know, you get out there in the bush and you drop in the rocks and stuff, you're gonna have some problems with the levers and all this stuff. So just be aware of that, because it doesn't take much to bend any of these. The shift lever, brake lever, clutch lever, front brake lever, they all just, it doesn't take much at all to just completely trash them. And finally, this has been the worst thing. This is the most annoying thing I've had with the Honda CRF, is the stock kickstand. Just, what the hell, Honda? I mean, seriously, this thing sucks so bad. I don't know, it's too short. The bike just leans so badly. I don't know, it's just not showing it correctly or good enough with the camera, but it's just, it leans way too far to the side, and I don't know, it's terrible. It's very narrow right here. So initially I put, this is a foot plate from SRC, kind of an extension here, widens and everything, and initially this worked out pretty well. I mean, of course it didn't help the leaning of the bike, but at least gave it some more space. You know, when you got off, it doesn't sink down to the ground. However, after some time, I don't know how this loosened up the way it did, but the rattling, it just rattled crazily. And, you know, as I'm riding along, I just hear this thing constantly rattling, and I just get paranoid. I was like, there's something wrong with the bike. What's going on? And it's this dang thing here. So I had to pull it off, and as you can see, I like stuffed weather stripping in there and then tighten it back down. That alleviated the problem somewhat, but still, it can be annoying. However, it helped with the stand, so you don't sink down the dirt, but it didn't solve the problem. So what I did is, T-Rex Racing offers an adjustable kickstand for the CRF300L. Thank you very much. It's heavy, made from steel, feels pretty solid. I think you can also get one from Rally Raid, but again, this piece, everything's $100, you know, it adds up. I think this was $119 if I'm not mistaken, but I'm going to go ahead and install this. This shouldn't be a big deal at all. All right, so if you can get an idea, this is just how far the bike leans when it's on the stock stand, and I don't know, it's terrible, especially getting out in the bush, man, loaded down with stuff. It's just, I don't know, it's no bueno at all. And it makes it really easy to just, it almost feels like the bike's gonna fall over. Just a bad decision putting this thing on there. So we're gonna get that off. All right, so this is all that came with the new adjustable stand from T-Rex Racing. The stand itself and a new spring. So I don't foresee this being that big of a deal. So one thing I also recommend, if you still have the stock levers like the shift lever and the rear brake pedal on your Honda, carry a big wrench with you when you ride that out in the backcountry. Because let me tell you, it's just inevitable. If you drop the bike, you're going to bend this end and you're not going to be able to shift, or you're not going to be able to use the brake lever. At least with something, a big wrench like this, you can get that in there. You can leverage. You have leverage to bend it back out. Just a heads up, learn from my experience. There's a look at the new kickstand from T-Rex Racing. Look at that big, there we go, that floor plate is welded in. It's wide. Not as wide as the extension with the SRC, but that is better than stock. And it's pretty heavy. That's steel, it's powder coated. It looks like it's going to be pretty durable. First thing I'm gonna do is just remove the spring here. There we go. That's off. On, man. There we go. Alright, that's off. And that looks like another 8mm right there. And there you go. Now it should just pop off. Oh, very nice. See ya. Just gonna put a little grease right here. And then on the other side as well. All right. Get in there. Now we'll just get this back on. All right, cover's on. Looking good. She moves. So now we'll extend it out. And this was, let's see, that was stock right there. So we need to go, okay. Just remove that. Oh, well, there you have it. As you can see, you got quite a lot to work with there. All right, one last thing to do. There's one. Come on. There's two. Oh, yeah. That's better. That's much better. Okay, changing out a few things on your CRF300L will make a huge difference in your ride. Your front brake and clutch levers. Yep. Shift levers, rear brake lever. Yep. Foot pegs. Oh, yeah. And man, oh man, let me tell you, you wouldn't think something could be so annoying as a kickstand, but it can. Changing this out to the T-Rex extended stand has made a big difference. You'll notice it. And there you have it, folks. I think these are some essential upgrades to your Honda CRF300L. Yeah, absolutely worth every penny. All right. Thank you all very much for watching. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. It helps us out tremendously. We've got lots more content on the way. Stay safe out there, folks. We'll see you next time. D-Rock out. Adios.